it's Claire Felicity. So I'm on 100 hours of not eating. Yeah, I'm hungry. But, whatever. Izzy says, what's up? Izzy's keeping me company. She's super, super lovable. See? She's just the sweetest. So, what am I going to talk about today? Other than, okay, can we end the hunger strike and like have all that stuff come out? That would be awesome. But other than that, so I kind of saw some stuff about Monsanto today, and I am not a fan of Monsanto. I never have been, actually. Very young, I knew who they were. It all started with milk when rbgh-bovine was created. That is pretty much, I think, about the time I found out about Monsanto. And I read the book, Not Milk. And it's a great book. And I haven't bought non-organic milk since, except by like the dire emergency. But what I did notice, and one of the reasons I got interested in that, is, and it's a good thing to bring up because, people go on research studies, but what about our bodies? Like, if you ingest something and it does something to you, but a research study says it shouldn't, and you ingest that product again, and it does it again, are you going to trust the study or are you going to trust your body? So that's kind of how I work with this. And when my son, I wasn't really a big milk drinker to begin with, but when I stopped breastfeeding my son, I sent him over to milk, and he got really sick, like super sick. And so I was like, what is this? And I started looking into milk, and I noticed he did better with the organic. I don't know about your studies, but when I did flip over to organic, he did do better. And then I stopped the milk. But that being said, I started looking into rbgh-bovine and the milk and what they were doing. And then I realized that, okay, the same people that created rbgh-bovine, which is something that's in our milk, it's a hormone that they inject into our cows and to make them produce more milk. Well, any mother knows, and a lot of men may know this, but there's this thing called mastitis that lactating females of any kind, whether it's a, animal or a female, it's an infection. Well, rbgh-bovine causes things like that in the cows. So you get pus in your milk. Anyways, it's really gross. Look into it. But what stunned me the most and let me kind of really start thinking about this company was they created that, and then they created lactate. So you have something that started making people sick. rbgh-bovine came into our milk, and people started reacting. All of a sudden, all these people were lactose intolerant. If you go back to the 80s, who was lactose intolerant? Well, I won't say zero, that's not true. A small percentage of people. If you go into the 90s, a lot of the population started reacting to milk. So I don't care what your studies say. I'm going to stick with my brain. Think about that, like when you're thinking about weight loss, and if you're ingesting something that is not really digestible by your body, or that has a bunch of crap in it, your body's going to not be able to lose any weight. It's actually going to hold on to that crap because it can't process it. So yes, I know a ton about nutrition. Next, weight loss. All right, so here I am, right? I'm probably like a whole, I don't know, I'm very skinny right now. I'd probably be like a size 2 or less right now, American. But the funny thing is I always went in between like 120 and 130 pounds. That's like my ideal weight, like the weight I really like being. I'm 5'3", and that weight for me seems to be ideal. I don't care what the average says. I look my best and feel my best around that weight. So how did I do it? I was 220 pounds. And how did I do that? I got married. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it is kind of what happened, but I got married and we settled into this lifestyle. My eating habits changed. I didn't have certain foods in my house, and then all of a sudden they were incorporated into my life. Hold on, Izzy. So what happened? Just life happened. We changed a little bit, and like I said, I incorporated foods into my life that weren't there before. And then all of a sudden I started reacting. It was really weird. They thought I had rheumatoid arthritis. Turns out I was allergic to wheat. When I was growing up, I wasn't allergic to wheat. So, whose wheat is in most of our products nowadays? Genetically engineered? I don't know. Anyways, so what happened is I started gaining all this weight, and then I thought I had rheumatoid arthritis, and then I So I gained, like, over a period of, I'd say, a year, I gained maybe 50 pounds. And you don't see it happening. Like, I was this skinny girl, and I worked out, and then all of a sudden I stopped, and I was being this stay-at-home mom for my stepdaughter more, and I quit school. Like, I quit all this stuff because I got married and changed my life drastically. And so it's easy to put on all this weight, right? And so I had all this weight on me, and I was like, all of a sudden one day I looked at a picture, and it's actually a picture. So if you're like struggling with your weight and like, am I getting fat? And you're asking people, am I fat? Don't. Grab a picture of yourself, a recent picture of yourself, next to somebody you think you might look like. Reality sets in. Because we see ourselves daily, you know, and so to look in the mirror, not so much. Our you know, our, what do they call it, the muffin top, you know, we don't pay attention to it. So we might have gained, you know, 15 pounds, but we're still wearing the same pair of jeans. And we're just muffin topping it. You know you did. So instead of like relying on other people or even a scale, I would say for me, the best thing that always worked is a picture. And what really worked in boosting me to lose weight was my mom looked at a picture of me. Hi, Mom. Mommy dearest. And she was looking through the picture, and I'm not sure to this day if it was actually that she didn't recognize me or if she was just mocking me. But she's like, "Who's the girl in that picture?" And I was like, "Mom, that's me, right?" Like, but so I was like, "Well, God, my mom doesn't even recognize me. I must be really fat." And yeah, so you try all these different things, and I did. At first, I was on the Nutrisystem plan, and it boosted me. Like, what it did is it just made me have to control myself. But it doesn't taste very good at all, and it's crap to digest. So, so I started with that, and I was like, this is crap. The food tastes like shit. I feel like I'm eating something off a spaceship. It's coming out of a packet, you know. Yeah. So I, what did I do? Oh, then I started going to curves, all right? And this is good for women. So I'm 220 pounds at the time, right? 5'3". I think I started losing like, I lost 10 pounds right off the top when I cut out sugar, bread, like all that stuff, which I had to anyways because of the wheat. But when I cut out all white carbs, basically, I never cut out vegetables. I don't believe in cutting out vegetables. I think that's a crock of crap. We burn them off. Our body absorbs them. You know, so so I cut all that stuff out, lost like 10 pounds right off the bat, really fast, you know, sugars, but I didn't go like, hey, I'm gonna go get a bunch of diet stuff, because all the diet stuff has preservatives in it, so I just wanted to see if I could actually lose it if I didn't do that, because I've tried a few times in my life when I yo-yoed with my weight. So anyways, the best thing that happened to me was going to curves. You know, actually exercising and going to be with other women, and they don't look at you funny. You know, I was short and fat, and nobody cared. It was great, and I did that for a little while, and I started managing my portions. And one of the reasons I started managing my portions is because I'm French, right? And I really do believe in the whole like zone kind of thing. Like you can't like overeat and expect your body to expend it. You know, you have to process it. So depending on what kind of a day you've had, you should shift your eating. You know, it's just kind of like, I believe in using our brains and listening to our bodies. So like when I eat certain foods, I would get really tired, and I realized that those foods actually, my body didn't like them that much. I seem to react better to certain foods than others. And so I stopped eating those foods, or eating in moderation, because you know, sometimes you can just have things here and there. But the point is, I started narrowing down my diet to portion control. Like, you know, say for example, a piece of protein, my protein for dinner should be the size of the palm of my hand and 1.5 inches thick. And when you start looking at things like that, and you actually get like a visual, at least for me, it really helped me. There was this plan, and they picked me because, you know, I'm an actress. So I had somebody call me, and they found me online, and they wanted me to be a part of their weight loss program to launch it. Unfortunately, they caved before we launched it, because I actually did kind of what they said in my own way, and it worked. And it added to what I was already doing, the portion control thing. But they actually had this really cool thing where you had like bowls that were measured. So like you pour like your M&Ms, because I'm not like, I'm not gonna stop eating chocolate. You know, I'm not gonna like kill myself to be, or like take everything good out of my life so that I can be healthy. You have to have vices, and chocolate is one. But I could pour my M&Ms into it and see how many M&Ms, you know, I could eat. And it works. I mean, you just don't chew them as fast. So anyways, it took me like a year and a half, but the real key to losing 100 pounds it took me 2 years. In 2 years is portion control. You have to get your sizes down. You have to have a colorful plate. You know, like sweet potatoes next to spinach with like chicken or, you know, tofu or whatever. It's a beautiful plate, actually. And it feels good. And I've raised my kids eating that way, and my kids eat really well. Actually, they won't even take non-organic milk. It's so funny. They'll be in a cafeteria and someone will offer them milk, and they're like, "Is it organic?" No, not in the cafeteria, unfortunately. Where it should be, it isn't. Everything should be organic. Why are we manipulating the earth so much? I don't know. But my point is, by cleaning up my foods, I actually ended up losing the weight. So it's not like a diet per se, it was portion control. And using my brain, figuring out, you know, what foods do I eat that make me feel funny. There was some things when I ate them, I literally had to go lay down because I was reacting so much to them. I was like tired. So say like if you go to McDonald's, perfect example. You go to McDonald's and you have French fries and a burger. Oh my God, they taste so good, right? And then you're done and you're like, I feel so heavy, you know? Well, yeah, you just ate something that your body isn't really able to digest. So yeah, it's not. It's like we get this sense of filling, but we're not actually getting nutrition. I noticed also in France 10 years ago. That's when I knew Monsanto took over the fucking world. I got there and all of the women on the beach had started gaining weight, and France always prided itself on these thin women and yada yada. And I started looking around at the system in France and how it had changed since I was a teenager. And what I noticed is that they have these frozen food stores. That's all there is. It's like you walk in and it's all frozen foods down the aisle here, down the aisle there. It's factory. You come home and you actually have your meal in a box. And it's all genetically engineered. And guess what? The French bought into it. Alors la France? But they did. So if you look in France now, they also have an obesity problem. So I say using my brain is the best way to, or using your brain, all of us, looking into things is the best way to achieve weight loss or, you know, change. Everybody's gaining weight in one country. What was introduced to that country? That changed things. And that's true. That is true. Like, all these frozen foods and all our little mom and pop shops went away, and all of a sudden all the French started getting bigger and sicker and not as healthy. So, you know, I'm open to discussion on all this. I actually share it because I'm doing a video a day and I need to find topics to talk about, and I find this stuff interesting, and I'm doing it on the cuff. I was going to write it down and show you guys a picture of me at 220 pounds, but I can't find my picture. I'll find it though. I can Google some stuff, but I just want like the ultimate fat Claire pic. So anyways, I'm doing okay. I hope everybody out in the world is doing okay. I could be better. Making the best of things. And I hope it gets everybody thinking. The hunger strike, why I'm doing it, you know. What is going on today in our world? I mean, we got a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. And change starts from the home, whether it's with weight loss or with, you know, getting bullied by some guy who's going to throw research down my throat that he selectively found on one side. If you're going to show me research, show me all the research, and don't pick little pieces of it. Snippets. I don't like snippets. They cause chaos. Anyways, I hope everybody's having a great Saturday, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.